What conspiracy theory do you genuinely believe? NASA astronauts Mark Lee and Jan Davis definitely had sex in space for research purposes. They were the only married couple to go to space together. The mission they flew on, STS-47, was specifically for materials and life science research in microgravity. And the kicker, the mission flew with a space lab module in the cargo bay, which provided a private area for the astronauts to carry out the experiments. Frankly, if I had the opportunity to be one of the two first people to space bang, I would absolutely take it. That despite what my roommate says, she's eating my food when I leave the house, I had 17 Oreos when I left. I came back to 15. Women's fashion industry makes pockets so small because it's driving sales of purses. This may be true, but my question is, why haven't they come for men's pockets? Why would you have a profit-based conspiracy but only hit maximum 50% of the population? The same people who control women's fashion control men's fashion, so why wouldn't they implement the same strategy? I'm not disparaging the theory, I honestly just think that there's more potential for market saturation. Because men's fashion is in bed with the wallet industry. Marilyn Monroe was murdered, or it was involuntary manslaughter. The Secret Life of Marilyn Monroe by J. Randy Taraborelli is an excellent read and basically proves that she was murdered. Very eye-opening. Who did it? Either the mob or the sire, because she was banging JFK and they felt she had become a security threat. Chapstick provides instant relief, then makes your lips more chapped so that you have to keep using it. It does. People actually end up addicted to it, because it fixes the problem it created, lol. SAR creating the crack epidemic. Not even a conspiracy. That shit is proven and documented. It was a conspiracy. Conspiracy doesn't mean crazy ideas that never happen. It's people doing evil shit behind closed doors. Basically, every government's bread and butter. That the far-fetched, ridiculous conspiracy theories are made up by someone to cover the ones that are real. People refuse to look into conspiracies because they associate them with crazy morons making up new shapes of Earth. It's a dinosaur. Get over it. There are more than enough theories talking about the government that are very plausible. That the Kardashian sisters purposely keep Rob overweight so he can be a genetically compatible fat donor for all their injections. Now I feel bad for laughing. Epstein didn't kill himself. I take that as pretty close to fact. My favorite related conspiracy theory is he never killed himself. They manufactured a shit show and he's chilling in retirement somewhere. Sports are a way to keep the masses distracted from how the rich are living, sort of like how the Romans used the Colosseum. To be fair, you could say that entertainment sites like Reddit are no different. Sure, we may talk about how messed up the wealthy can be, but as long as we're using this platform, we're not doing anything meaningful. That someone in the royal family had Princess Diana pursued and taken out. I'd really recommend you watch the Mitchell and Webb video on that one. All our devices listen in on us to sell that info to companies for advertising. Dude, this is so true. I'm pregnant, and the day I did the tests and found out I was my husband, and I had a huge conversation about what we were gonna do, how we were going to make this work, cried over our previous losses and worried about this one. Straight up had a 2-hour convo about it, and then we cooked dinner, ate dinner and watched a movie. I picked my phone up during the movie to Google something, and all of a sudden suggestions for prenatal vitamins, cloth nappies, cots and car seats start popping up. I have never Googled those before. Target got in trouble once for sending someone an ad in the mail for diapers and cribs, etc. Problem is she was a teenager in high school and didn't even know she was pregnant yet, and this was how she and her parents found out. Target had discovered a way to mine shopping habits to predict a pregnancy. The moon landings were real, but they also conducted a fair amount of military tests that haven't been released to the public. This is why the original video footage from the first moon landing is lost and we only have recordings from TV broadcasts. Oh, absolutely. That just makes sense from the military's standpoint. First time a human lands on another planetary body. I bet lots of government agencies had things they wanted tested up there. Michael Jordan was banned from basketball for gambling. His father was killed because of his gambling debt. I always figured he retired suddenly because he was so hurt his father passed so suddenly and unfairly, and he made Space Jam to help process his grief. Then again, it was a little before my time. I was born 4 years after the movie came out and 3 before MJ retired for the final time. That Fruit of the Loom somehow reset all of our minds to believe that the cornucopia was never there. The government had Oswald killed. I believe that the Secret Service massively fucked up with the Kennedy assassination and they knew the masses would be outraged if it came to light just how badly they messed up. So they had Oswald killed so that their incompetence wouldn't be brought to light during the trial. The team that made the Sonic movie developed the whole movie in its final form and just made the intentionally ugly trailer to garner attention. Except people apparently found photos of merchandise with a shitty design. That's a lot of money to waste on stuff they never planned to sell. The NBA isn't directly rigged, but officials have a narrative in mind for a way to call each game that may extend playoff series to achieve more ad revenue and sell more tickets. Each additional game nets the league, owners, advertisers, and sports media many millions of dollars. It's WWE adjacent. I think this is just sports thing in general. I don't believe it's rigged, but I definitely believe that the leagues will nudge a result one way or the other when they want. Maybe not exactly a conspiracy, but drugs available over the counter are almost completely dependent on which pharma conglomerates have lobbied respective governments to require prescriptions for competitive products as opposed to their OTC drug for the same condition. No shit's given to the actual health of citizens. There are OTC drugs that will easily kill you if you misuse it. Then there are prescription drugs that are completely harmless on their own. A lot of serious illnesses would be cured if people didn't make so much money off of treating them. I am not a 911 truther, but the Pentagon attack always bugged me. Most secure building in the world and the only footage is a grainy 4-frame video of some object entering frame right and then boom, an explosion. Edit. Damn, this escalated quickly lol. For your information, I'm not touching any of the arguments in there. Have fun though. It's not the most secure building in the world. You can take daily tours of the thing. There are very secure parts of the Pentagon. It's really just a glorified office building. The increasing cost of living, house prices and market volatility is driven by greed. Companies are refusing to make less and are causing undue suffering and death through their deliberate actions, all to make more money, of which there should really be finite supply. The stock market and digitalization has pretty much created a reality where there is no limit on money and it does not exist beyond numbers on a screen. So they keep striving to make more and more numbers appear, as maintaining is considered a loss. This isn't really a conspiracy theory, I don't think. There is a constant expectation from shareholders for companies to keep reporting higher earnings. Nobody wants to hear the excuse that your growth isn't sustainable. If you're growing, you have to grow faster. If you're earning record profits, you have to keep breaking those records. Otherwise share prices will drop and shareholders will demand change in leadership. So in order for the executives to keep their jobs, they need to continually find ways to keep making more money. We live in a simulation. How can a bus with 2 and 2 sets of seats with a reasonable aisle down the middle take up the same amount of space in a lane that a car you can touch the sides of at the same time does? I understand your sentence, but I had a stroke reading this. The Sire assassinated black figures who were empowering the black community. Martin Luther King, Jimi Hendrix, etc. There's no illuminati with robes and secret handshakes and shit. It's far more mundane that the most wealthy of every country continent get together every so often and decide who does what when, where and how. Oh sure, there are anomalies like brush fire wars and heads of state that think they're actually in charge, but those are just inconveniences like the weather or the rain. Money makes our modern world go round. It only makes sense that the people that control the wealth control the known human world. With each new downloaded update, the battery life gets shorter on Apple products. It's called planned obsolescence and it's ubiquitous now. Companies design things purposefully to have a limited life. That way you can't just easily repair it or maintain it. So then you are forced to buy their new super expensive thing. I still have an iPhone X and the battery used to go 2 days before needing a charge. Now if I use it too much, it needs charging by the early afternoon. I know batteries degrade naturally over time, but I don't think it's that much. Our government experimented on American soldiers that ended up in the hospital during the Vietnam War. Agent Orange reporting. There's one about the Titanic and Olympic, almost identical sister ship being swapped for insurance fraud. I don't remember all of it, but there's a really good documentary with solid evidence that I'd recommend. It's kind of scary once you see how real it all is. That one has been pretty thoroughly disproven. It also doesn't make any sense from a financial point of view. The ship cost $7.5 million and was only insured for $5 million. For one thing. And the enormous publicity damage from the wreck badly hurt the company's finances in any case. Denver Airport. I can verify that the Denver Airport does exist. I've seen it myself. Aliens are just time travelers. Area 51 is just a closely guarded time portal. That Hitler didn't die at the bunker. He went on to die of old age in Argentina. Giants existed in our history. Don't they play football in New Jersey? That stores have bad mobile signal so you can't check competitors' prices while shopping. Dragons were real. One dragon's flew. Hollow bones are needed to do that. Hollow bones do not fossilize. All you ever find from bird is its skull, and that's just decomposing to bones. 2. The Tyrannosaurus Rex was assembled wrong and the small arms are supposed to be on its back. Look at big birds like an ostrich. They look very similar. These were dragons of word of mouth myth. So a huge game of telephone added real life fights, flight and even fire breathing. That's all I got. Not a PhD guy, but it sounds good to me. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more Reddit videos.